What are you doing? You can't be on the roof when it's moving.
It's not moving. It's an optical illusion.
Alright guys, I know I said I wouldn't give an update on this Outback with the ballooning roof, but I got Micah and Chad. They tore apart the roof, and this is what my thoughts are about the whole matter. Could be wrong, but this is my thoughts, and I think Micah might agree with me.
Let's hear it.
So you can see where they rolled out the glue here and how flat it is, and we didn't show you the remnants of it, but it doesn't seem like adhesive stuck to the other side of that material. I think possibly they just let it dry too much, and you can still see it rolled out, and it didn't really emboss itself into the material. That is to say, it should have got stuck to the underside, and then stuck to the underside and stuck to the deck. It should be all one piece, and we didn't even peel any decking up. So that's not a good sign either. I'll grant you that this seems nice and loose a little bit right there. We can tighten up that. And then even, let's see, I know this screw right there, I can just unscrew by hand. And we did see a number of staples and screws that, quite honestly, would have been under the material from the get-go. And they do have stamped steel trusses, but you can see that even that opening right there is pulling loose. My favorite thing about this is that they snuck the gray tank vent in the refrigerator compartment. I mean, I guess it works, but it's weird. Isn't that weird?
It is. Ended up resting the screen on the top of the fridge.
Resting the screen. I mean, I guess it's one less roof penetration. So what we have to just do is clean up this roof again, retape all these edges, make sure the radius is nice and secure, and we're going to put a rubber roof back on instead, because I think that's a better quality product for this application. It's hard to see, but that is a compound curve at the front. It's also easy to see that the front cap was peeling up because it was just stapled down. All right, well, I guess we'll just carry on, Micah.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. We got Chad over there. Hi, Chad.
Hi, James.
He's prepping this roof, getting ready to put it back, a new one back down again. And we're going with a rubber roof this time. A better one. One that I haven't had ballooning on, so that's why I know that it's better.
Of all the ones to fail, I'd say 99% of them were DPO.
Correct. But none of them were ever done by us. Just picking out the stuff. We'll glue this down and roll it forward, right, Chad?
Yes, sir.
We'll brush it in. I'm gonna go do an oil change while you guys do this.
That's good. Snap the fingers and it's done thing?
Yeah! Should try that.
Big top. Blowing up those.
Well, look at that. Oil change is done. I even have dirty hands to prove it. We just got it rolling out now. This is going to be a rubber roof. This is known as EPDM, rubber roof. I don't know the thickness of these things, so I'm sure it's on the tube. So it's going to be black on one side, which is the rubber, and then white on the other side, which is the UV protector. So we're doing the Bob Ross method, so we need it wet on wet. So we want it to be pretty thick and wet, and then we roll this out into a wet glue. That way the wet glue actually will stick to this. And then because it's stuck to this and it's stuck to the roof, it's stuck to itself. All right, we got a pretty much wet coat there. Now we're ready to roll this thing out. It's always easier with two people, one on each side.
It's always easier to have two people, one on each side, than one for the camera.
Well, yeah, you got to have somebody on the camera. It's important. Some might say it's the most vital job. And those person's name is James.
All right, how's it look, James?
I think it looks great. As long as it's wet, this will go over really easily. You can squeegee out the air pockets, and you don't have to walk on it. One person on each side, you just wait for Chad to get going.
Slow one.
Wet glue will stick to the underside of the membrane pretty well. So that'll go down, and then we'll just brush it out. It seems high-tech to use a broom for this purpose. But by all accounts, this is factory-approved method, because this is how I learned it, from the factory. Really good to use a new broom to do this. You don't want to use something that's been covered in oil. Dry sweep.
I'll wash that one out.
I want to try to get that wrinkled out right there. There you go. It's not a sidewall, so being perfect is not something we're trying to do. We just want to make sure it's stuck down and glued. There's some pretty good ones right there, Micah. You got them. Yeah, right there. You're working it out. You're working it. So you couldn't do it. You couldn't work those out if it was dry underneath there. It'd be like putting on a decal. And there it goes. Of course, now when that side's done, we'll just come to this side. We still have to cut the length. We'll roll it back halfway, glue it down, and that glue underneath there still won't be dry yet. So it won't be dry for a while. This adhesive is water-based. Brace yourself. Ooh. Found something for you. No, I should try. You might be a little too thick right about there.
Sometimes we're pretty good at judging, and sometimes we're not.
Put too much down?
Yeah.
Okay. What a mess. It looks like a cartoon.
Just a little.
You ever seen a cartoon paint can?
Yeah.
You know, there's a very good chance I might be in the way. Are we ready? You want to cut it?
Good enough for the moment.
Good enough?
For the moment.
Here we go. That's what I always want to do. All right. Well, there it is. A brand new rubber roof on this Outlook. Now we just have to cut some holes and put it all back together. And then this one shouldn't balloon. Chad guaranteed it. Man, look how straight that line is right there. Almost never works out that well.
Good eyeballs.
Oh, almost died. It's encouraging because it's been taking up a bay for almost a month now, waiting for insurance to approve this job. And now, with the roof on, we can actually pull it out. So what we really want to see on this rubber roof, if you can see right here, see how that glue is actually stuck to the membrane and to the roof. So we got good coverage on everything. That's what we want to see. We want to see it wet on the membrane too, and on the roof. Well, it's laying down pretty well here. Now we got the curbs on the vents. We're gonna put some molding on. I'm gonna help Micah. Careful who you point that thing at. Now we're putting this front cap trim back down, and you'll see that the putty's underneath the trim. That's how it's supposed to be done, I guess. So just got Micah putting his trim on. I helped him out a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's all I ever do is a little bit of help. I just always mark on the rubber where the old screw hole was so I can find it really easily. And this goes right back where it's supposed to be. I do reuse the old molding because there's no reason not to. We just clean it off, right?
Easy to clean, a lot easier than the vents.
Yes. Probably be impossible to find right now anyways. So just to help anchor these down a little bit, we are going to staple all the flaps down to the inside. A lot of times I'll cut these things flush because putting on vent trim's a pain in the butt with these flaps hanging down, but with this one blowing off, we'll just staple that down. All right, so this roof is coming together pretty well. We got the front on, we got the sides on. Look at this refrigerator vent. And I'm in the back now putting the rear molding on. Now this right here is the butyl tape, otherwise known as putty tape. This right here is the actual seal. This is the gasket that's supposed to keep this roof weather tight. So you can see it on this vent right there. You can see it oozing out. These vents should, theoretically, without having a lap sealant on top, not need the lap sealant on top to be weatherproof. So lap sealant on top is just going to be a flashing to redirect water so that water doesn't puddle right here, because eventually puddling water always finds a way. So I guess what I'm saying is, if a roof is leaking, resealing the top of it is a band-aid. You need to find out why it's leaking. Usually the seal underneath is had some sort of fail, or there's a crack in the material itself. So that needs to be fixed. So it's end of my rant. I'm just gonna put this down and go from there. All right, I'm almost done putting this trim down. I'm just using these 2-inch long truss screws. Again, I'm a big fan of these bright truss screws. Now when it comes to the refrigerator vent, I don't like to keep these flaps on there, because if they ever pop up, they'll seal the vent, because you want to let hot air out. So there's enough screws on this stupid vent anyways that it's ridiculous. Let's see if you can't see it here. So get so many screws, like too many screws anyways. All right, so now that flap's removed, so now the cooling unit, which you can see right there, can get hot air out. And of course I already inspected it, and they did put a air dam, so that a lot of times these manufacturers forget to do that, and air gets stuck, hot air just gets stuck over the top of the refrigerator, and then it gets hot. All right, so with that vent down, really, we'll check in once we got everything back together. We'll put Dicor self-leveling on the roof, and then this edge right there, what we have to use is this is it. It's Dicor lap sealant, but look, it says non-leveling, non-sag. So this is not self-leveling. It's not because, I mean, you can do silicone, but silicone doesn't stick to rubber very well, but the Dicor is meant to stick to this. So that's why we're use non-sag. You could use Dicor, but it'll start to flow and make a big mess. So you get the non-sag. I just try to make a nice bead with the nozzle itself. Trying to tool it with your finger usually creates a bigger mess than anything. Well, just like everything, all we need now is one more part. TV antenna. It's always difficult to get one thing, just one thing. We just have to put a solar panel up here anyways, but other than that, this is looking really good. Well, one of the last things we got is install this solar panel. It's on this 100-watt Renogy's panel. And we'll get that installed on the top. It's just going to be routed down the front there to the front cap, and then to the batteries. That should be pretty fast. So fast I should just be able to do this. Alright, so I got this all mocked up now. Plug that in. Alright, so now that's hooked up. It's routed through there. I was able to take the trim off the cabinet in the front right here. So this is the bedroom area. There's a solar wiring going down. We're gonna hide it behind the cabinet face, and then it'll go down into the basement, down through there, into our box down here. And of course the battery's not hooked up because it's coming down through here. So a circuit breaker there, and it's got to hook up the ground. All right, let's see what we got going on right here. Ooh, look at that. It's battery and charging now. Green sealed, orange gel, red flooded. I think I just have to push and hold that. What do you think I do? I should probably read the instructions.
Never a good idea.
Oh, something happened there. Oh, that's it. Orange, red. That's what I got. All right, Red.
Isn't it just a dummy display? It just tells you what it's doing. You can't really turn it off or anything, right?
Well, you can set the charge parameters.
Really?
Uh-huh. Guess I push and hold that again, maybe. Ah, look at that. Without... All right, and with that, this solar panel's installed. It's in its truss. Step on it right there, so that's installed. Got the wires routed. You saw that down below. And of course the new roof is installed. Now this roof is really thin, so I have to make sure I'm always stepping on the ribs there. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Now there's a rubber roof. So it's a little bit upgraded roof there. And we're using that solar panel to maybe help secure it down in the front there a little bit better too. I'll advise the owner to keep track of it and pop up on the roof every once in a while. So that trim piece just goes across the front right there, gets screwed down. This is just secured to the back behind the wall there, down into the basement, down into there. So from here, you can't see it. And of course, you guys have seen all this. We got all the wiring tied back up. We're charging over there. We run back down over here underneath. It's all tied up over to there, to the breaker that we put right there, to the batteries. So it's been charging for about an hour now. We were at what, 12.4. Let's see what we're at now. Ooh, 12.88. We're definitely charging. So I think with that, we're gonna call this job done. I'll get it buttoned up and get another happy customer on their way. That was a, I don't remember it. This is an Outback, I think in 2015, 16, 17. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put whatever year it was. I think there's a Forest River. Maybe it's a Keystone. I'll put all the information somewhere. Maybe somehow. I don't know. All right, guys. So there you have it. Another roof job. I don't know if you guys are sick of these, but I'm a little sick of them. It's October, but it's still pretty hot here. At any rate, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and enjoy yourself. You know, no matter what you do, it's still a Dodge.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Except a pretty good looking red one, yeah.
It is a good looking Dodge now. Woo! Right?
That's right.
Look at that. Chad's just gonna dab it. I don't even think this is necessary, but everybody else does it, and I don't want somebody to say,
What a hack did that?
why nobody put sealant on my screws. Right?
That's right.
It's like unfurling something. It's not a word you get to use very much.
What word?
Unfurl.
Unfurl?
Yeah, can you furl something then?
I need you to spell that for me and then use it in a sentence.
I unfurled the flag at the Battle of Baltimore. Old Glory. Fort McHenry, is that it? Come on. Say, can you see?
Can I get a definition and or country of origin?